You're listening to KX 93.5, Laguna's Only FM. I'm Scott Hayes. This is Radio Caravan. I'm in the studio this morning with Jim Bastian. And, of course, our featured guest, one of our featured guests today, is the actor, the singer-songwriter, Chris Mulkey. There he is on guitar. You may remember him from the movie Captain Phillips, which was just on TV the other night. It just happened to be at the part where you had that great one-liner about, I'm not... What was that one-liner?
I'm a merchant seaman. I'm not a soldier. I'm not paid to fight pirates. I'm not paid to fight pirates.
I'm not paid to fight pirates.
I said, I'm a union guy. My union doesn't cover that.
Hey, he's also been on Boardwalk. Everything. I mean, he's one of those faces you see all the time, definitely. Boardwalk Empire, is that true?
Yeah.
24.
How about that? John Voight and I, yeah.
Yeah, and Twin Peaks, David Lynch's Twin Peaks, which the first season that came out, that was a phenom when it came out.
We had a good time, yeah.
Yeah, what was it like working with David Lynch?
It was great. He's one of the greatest guys in the world. I mean, he's just really, really great.
Yeah. And then how about Tom Hanks? What was it like working with Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks, one of the greatest guys in the world. They go in the greatest guy in the world Hall of Fame along with you, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
We just met, so I don't know.
I'll aspire to get there.
No, but I'm really great times doing it. I generally have a great time. It's unbelievable.
Well, let's back up. I mean, we're here really to talk about your music. I just wanted to give people a sense of sort of your background as an actor, and I think that's you've got an impressive resume. Anybody who wants to look you up online. But we're really here to talk about your music. You want to talk briefly about how you... I mean, are you more a musician than an actor, and how you got involved in music?
I was a musician first, and I used to play I used to sit in the blues clubs in Minneapolis. There was a great blues scene in Minneapolis when I was growing up, and a great music scene, which has continued with Prince and all those guys and Morris Day and all. So I was playing music in these teen bands and stuff, and then I don't know, I got into acting, and. Then I kept the music alive, and I made a movie a few years ago 20 years ago down in Austin, Texas, and Joe Ely, and I met Joe Ely and Jimmy Dale Gilmore and all these old-time Texas guys, and I sang some of my songs. They said, "Damn, you're a hell of a Texas blues singer. You should get serious about this." So I did, and Jerry Jeff Walker was down there too, the guy who wrote Mr. Bojangles.
I'm good friends with him.
April's good friends with him.
Say hi, because Jerry Jeff was one of my inspirations. And so I'd go over to Jerry Jeff's house and we'd play music, and basically I'd just try to
get on the mic, April.
And,
I'm on.
And so we'd go over to Jerry Jeff's house and, and sit around the pool and play music. And
I love Jerry Jeff. We hang out every year in Belize.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's April and I are also from Minnesota originally.
Yeah, exactly.
You betcha.
We are.
Yeah, you betcha.
Twin Cities.
So he said you should get serious about this. So I did, and now.
So are you a blues guy?
I'm kind of blues alternative, blues and alternative rock. It's like, I've sold about 40 songs to TV and movie. I'm in ASCAP.
Good for you. Wow.
And the song that you heard, talking about love, I just put in a movie, and But I sing mostly about. I don't sing about blues because I'm not, I'm not very blue. I don't know. I mean,
it doesn't strike me as a blue unless you have a blue period.
Well, I have a blue shirt on.
That's true.
And a tight pair of black jeans. Yeah.
Hey, so let's do this, man. Let's play a song. I know you got a Christmas album coming out. I'd rather wait on that.
Yes.
And you want to open with, start with, any particular song? I think you had mentioned,
Thinking About You is an interesting song because, I've been married for like 33 years. I got married when I was 1 year old.
Yeah.
And it was arranged marriage. It's how the Irish do it, I guess. But, but it's that bit, every time, like I'll have breakfast and I'll think about Karen. I'll go for a walk and I'll think about, because you're always thinking about the one you love, or, and it's like, I'm here, it's beautiful. I wonder what Karen would think, it's like, so this is a song called Thinking About You, I guess.
Very nice.
Baby, we need to talk. Not to argue, but to celebrate. Yeah. Oh. If I could turn back the hands of time, I surely would. I'd hold you in my arms again. It would be all good. all the dreams you know I've had, the dreams of you. Every day I wanna make those dreams come true. Can't stop thinking about you. Oh yeah. Can't stop thinking about you. That felt good. Oh, that first trip we took, me and you. Mountains and the cities flew by, just us two. And that first room we had, bed for two. And the love we made that night made us laugh like fools. Can't stop thinking about you. Come on, Scott. Can't stop thinking about you. You did good. Check it out. Oh. If I could catch the sands of time, you know I surely would. I'd hold them in my hands, you know, it would be all good. All the dreams you know I had, made them come true. And I thank the Lord above for giving me you. Can't stop thinking about you, baby. Can't stop thinking about you. That's right, baby. Can't stop thinking about you all the time. You're on my mind, baby.
Ooh, golf clap here. Very nice.
Yeah.
You know, if I had to describe that song to somebody, I'm not sure I could, but I kind of hear a little bit of Tom Waits.
Yeah, Tom Waits.
Is that a fair sort of
I love
comparison?
Tom Waits. Tom Waits is fantastic. He's a huge inspiration.
And lyrically, Randy Newman, because Randy Newman has that fun sort of, you know, I'm telling a story. Why are you laughing?
Everybody says that.
Yeah.
Everybody says that. And Van Morrison's the next guy.
And Van Morrison as well, yeah.
Is that the Irish thing? The Van Morrison thing?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Tom Waits is from San Diego, so
Yeah.
Isn't San Diego in Ireland?
Yeah,
I think
somewhere
it is.
in there, yeah.
So-
But you got such great personality, and I got to believe that on stage, you've got great stage presence as well. Is that fair of me to say?
Well, you know, some would say, yeah, we have a good time. My piano player is Mark Marcelino is a fantastic piano player. He says, Chris, we got to really stick to music and stuff like that. You're talking a lot. And I said, Mark, we've been playing for 12 years, man. You know that this is not a musical act; it's a nightclub act. All right? I mean, come on now. And he just laughed.
Hey, selling songs for movies, is that a difficult process to go through, and can you actually make money off it?
Selling songs to movies and TV is like playing in the NFL, and you get injured too.
Yeah,
your ego.
But explain your analogy
use
there.
That one, Chris. That's not the one we want to use. No, but people will just will call me up and they'll go, "Oh man, I heard that one song and it was just it just inspired and it just completely fit." And I made this movie with Tara Buck, and it's called Best Driver in the County, and you can see it online. It's a beautiful, just a little short film that another Irishman directed, but the director just called me up and said, "Oh my God, talking about love is the perfect song for this." And in the end of the movie, when they pull back and reveal this whole beautiful place, it is indeed.
Hey, we talked about this, Chris. Come on.
You know when you're making a cowboy movie, you know what happens if you're riding along on in your horse and you're something like that.
Do you have to take the call?
And no, and it's that was Walgreens. My prescription's ready.
I won't ask what kind of prescription.
It's a hard prescription to get. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
We handle everything from general corporate formation, partnership, real estate. We have a full-service litigation practice, and we also have a group of lawyers that handle bankruptcy and general insolvency matters.
We offer big firm experience with a small firm feel.
The person that you're hiring is the person who's going to be representing you throughout your entire map.
The slogan of redefining full service attempts to capture two things. One, an explanation of the breadth or the diversity of the legal services that we provide, but also to recognize that our service to our community does not end with our legal services.
Whether it's a pro bono opportunity where we're representing people for free, or whether we're actually volunteering on a project like Habitat for Humanity, for example.
It includes the philanthropic efforts, the volunteering of time, and the donating of resources outside just the four corners of this law office.
You're listening to KX 93.5, Laguna's Only FM. I'm Scott Hayes. This, of course, is Radio Caravan. I'm here in the studio with my co-host, Jim Bastian. What did you think of Chris Mulkey?
Quite a character.
Wow, man. I bet you he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that house band stuff on Mondays must be pretty awesome.
Yeah, a lot of personality. Hey, so we're making a really sort of abrupt transition here. We have in the studio now Jim, pronounce your last name for me? McAleer, who's president of the Alzheimer's Association, Orange County. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Wing Lamb, who's founder-owner of Wahoo's Fish Taco Restaurants. And, guys, thanks for coming in this morning to talk about your organization and your association.
How did we get in here together?
I have no idea.
It was a struggle.
To do with fish tacos.
Odd association.
Well, anyway, hey, so Alzheimer's is so interesting to me because I have two parents who both suffer from it, right? My mom has a hard time remembering 5 minutes ago, and my dad has a hard time remembering phrases and words and this sort of thing. And so I guess my first question is, Jim, why should we put out so much effort to raise funds for a disease that has yet found a cure?
Well, I think you answered your question in the way you asked it. If you don't put funds into research for a disease, you're not going to cure that disease. So you're only going to be faced with the problems. If you look at what we did to cancer in the 70s, that's when we first started really funding it. We fund cancer about 10 times more than we fund Alzheimer's. And if you look at the survival rates for cancer have quadrupled every 5 years. So if we could do that with Alzheimer's disease, you're talking about a disease condition that affects people after 65. It gets more at 75, 1 and 2 at 85. Well, if you buy people 10 years at 85, that's a pretty important 10 years, right? So if we could put some money into delaying the progression of this disease or slowing down its onset, it's really leveraged. It's also a really expensive disease, so you save money.
So to that point, when you raise the money, where does it go exactly? What does the research look like, and where do you focus on putting your dollars from your organization?
For us, it goes into two different buckets. If money goes to research, it gets pooled with all the other money in research in the country, and our national organization gives it literally to the best minds of the world. So we're really proud of that. We're the largest private funders of research in the world. Locally, we use the dollars that are given to us to run a 24/7 helpline. We can answer it in 144 languages, not me personally, but we can. We have, 47 support groups now. We do a tremendous amount of caregiver education. Most of our folks who have dementia of any kind are cared for at home by a loved one, right? So they have to know how to do it. It doesn't come with a manual when you get this disease. So we're your manual. And we don't ever, ever, ever charge a family member or a person with disease for any of our programs or services. So to do that, we have to hit you up for the dollars and cents now and again.
Yeah. I mean, the website, if you've gone to the website, which I have, is impressive. It's a massive amount of resources available to people who suffer from Alzheimer's, but more importantly, perhaps, those of us who are the caretakers of people who suffer from Alzheimer's.
I think these days we probably serve more people who are caregivers than we serve people with the disease. It's changing, though. Mm-hmm. As we diagnose people earlier and earlier, as people are more and more aware, gee, I have a memory problem, let me go check my doctor. It used to be, gosh, I'm getting older, I'm going to have memory problems. Well, now we don't accept it quite so easily. So we're getting people early and early in the disease where they can still participate in their own therapy and their own, in what they need. So we're dealing with both. But still, it is largely caregivers that we support.
Is it possible to slow down the Alzheimer's process?
Absolutely.
And how is that on meds or?
You know what research tells us? The meds we have don't slow down the process. Mm-hmm. They can help with some of the symptoms. What research is pretty clear about is 3 things do help slow the progression or the onset. And one of them actually relates to my friend Wing here. Diet. A Mediterranean diet, nuts, fibers, grains, fruits, vegetables, fish oil, omega-3 fatty acids, as found in fish tacos.
Fish tacos.
Right?
We're going to get to you, Wing, I promise.
But that stuff really helps. Losing that excess weight really helps. So diet's important. Exercise. Staying physically active, at least 20 minutes 3 times a week, really helps. And staying socially and mentally engaged.
Yeah.
That's important. If you stop mentally, you stop mentally. So staying active in your brain is important.
So, Jim, you see a lot about these brain games that are online and different websites that promote brain health. What do you think about those in concert with what you do?
You know, it's really interesting. The research doesn't say for sure that those help with Alzheimer's, right? But that, if you look at the way the research is kind of written, they probably, and I'd say probably at 97.7%, really do help. So Sudoku, those kinds of things are great. What's really important, though, is to change it up. If you've been doing crosswords for 50 years, pick up Sudoku. If you're a dancer, pick up a new dance. You know, change the hands you brush your teeth with. You'll get toothpaste on your mirror, but it will cause you to stop and think.
Right.
Hey, Wing Lam, man, you have such a unique position in the communities, and you and your company support a lot of organizations around the county, and I got to believe that there are so many people who are appreciative of all the work that you do on that level.
Thanks.
Why Alzheimer's for you?
Well, like I said, it's probably the closest because, you know, when we talk about all the different activities your way, obviously the health, wellness part of it is big for us. So we happen to be one of the few restaurants that specialize in fish tacos at an affordable price point. There are a lot of restaurants that sell fish, but, you know, we're at a really affordable price point. So the wellness, I mean, it's a great tie-in for us. And basically, you know, Jim asked us, hey, can we get people to the walks? So, you know, we create, you know, visible billboards. We have lots of restaurants in Southern California.
Right.
So not only the food, the billboards, awareness, and anything that we can do to help drive traffic to the walks.
How many restaurants do you have, by the way?
We have almost 35 restaurants in Southern California.
Wow, and you started your company back in 1988 with one.
With one.
The one in Costa Mesa?
One in Costa Mesa.
Which is
I'd
still
ask you for more money.
Well, I was going to say that, Wing, you're all over the place on this cause right
Yes.
now. I mean, I know you support a lot of stuff,
Yep.
PCRF, we've been
Yep.
involved with you in that. So, but you put your face out there on this, and
Yeah.
very visible. Why the difference here on this particular one?
Well, because basically, I mean, looking for partners in the community. I mean, when you talk about Dennis School, some of the other prominent business, you know, Jim Doty from Chapman. So we kind of represent different buckets of spheres of influence. So I may be, you know, more of the people that are thinking healthy, eating, whatever. So they're thinking about it. Oh, hey, why not keep doing this? Because it may help prevent Alzheimer's.
Right. Both things, right? Promote the business and a great cause at the same time.
So talk to me about the walk. This was it the Go Purple?
The Go Purple campaign was launched our walk season, right?
Yeah.
So the Go Purple campaign had a ton of folks in town, including Jim Doty from Chapman, Dennis Cole, Chairman of the Board of the Angels, my friend Wing here. It launched our walk season. We had 4 walks. The biggest was at Angel Stadium. We had about 8,500 people celebrating. I know it sounds kind of strange, but we really were.
No.
We raised a little over $900,000. So you can imagine what our goal is next year. It's pretty easy. We're going to hit $1 million with my friend Wing's
On the
help.
4 walks, you raised $900,000.
We did.
Wow,
That's great.
Yeah, it was a really good year for us. It was about 17% higher than last year. And part of that, I think, is because people understand we're here, and they know we're here because of, again, folks like Wing and his friends who help raise the visibility.
So the Go Purple, you know, pink is everywhere. NFL, obviously, you see that in the month of October. Everyone obviously supports women's health and breast cancer issues. Talk about purple specifically and where that might go in terms of seeing that color in other settings.
You know, if you drive down the 405, you'll see our building just south of John Wayne.
Right.
There's a giant purple arch. I think you can see it from space. You did it right. That was the intention. You know, we're trying to brand purple just as Komen brilliantly did with pink, so that people, when they see it, they think of us, of course. So you're going to see it in ads. You probably already have. You're going to see it on TV. Cox has given us some time. And you'll see it certainly everywhere we are, because 3-dimensional advertising is probably our most powerful and most poignant. So you're going to see a lot of T-shirts, and you'll see it in a lot of Wahoo's stores.
My shirt color today was not unintentional.
No, I figured that. I just sort of
Yes.
noticed that, and I thought, that's nice. That was a good call.
Yeah.
I should have done the same thing, but I didn't. Wing, did you participate in the walks?
Yes, I did.
And what was that experience like for you?
It's just fun to be there amongst all your friends. It turned out, which again you don't talk about a lot of this stuff off, you know, during the other parts of the year, but turns out one of our constructions maintenance guys, Danny, his in-laws are affected. So we were there at the Laguna Hills Walk, and there's the whole family. And I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, well, I know. He knew that I was part of it. I didn't know why he was there. He goes, well, we have a family member.
Hi, I'm David Wilhelm, and this is Jimmy's Famous American Tavern. Jimmy's has been called a casual comeback for me. I think that's because most of the restaurants that I developed in the past were white tablecloth, upper-end restaurants. Jimmy's was designed as a place for friends and families to gather and enjoy regional American comfort food in a casual setting. Jimmy's Famous American Tavern. Simple and traditional.
You're listening to KX 93.5 Laguna's Only FM. I'm Scott Hayes. This is Radio Caravan. I'm in the studio this morning with my co-host Jim Bastian. Just a reminder, in the studio we have Jim McAleer.
Well done.
Gosh, that's a hard one for me. I don't know why. President of Alzheimer's Orange County. And, of course, Wing Lamb, who's founder-owners of the Wahoo's Fish Taco restaurants. And, Jim, you were talking a moment ago about this documentary about Glenn Campbell. Can you kind of express that?
Yeah, sure. It's really powerful. I mean, the documentary talks about Glenn and his family's kind of journey through this disease, most particularly a tour he did the United States performing while having dementia. So you would see scenes of him backstage where he really couldn't kind of keep conversations together, couldn't remember what was going on, couldn't really talk well to people. He would go out on stage and the lights went on. I mean, literally, the lights went on. He would just sing brilliantly and beautifully. Now, occasionally he would repeat a song.
Yeah.
Or he would say, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But the performer absolutely shined through the disease. It was absolutely amazing. Towards the end of that tour, he wasn't able to complete absolutely everything, and they had to cut it a little bit short.
Right.
But it is a really good story of how people can really survive and thrive through this disease.
Wing, I'm going to come back to you in about 30 seconds. Jim, I wanted to ask, we were talking about the fact that we had Max Gardner in our show, I would say about 6 months ago or so, President, CEO of Orange County United Way, and he was talking about this changing attitude in the philanthropic world about how do you create social change in this new complex world. You were just talking a moment ago that your organization raised another 17% more this year on your walks. What did you do differently, or what advice you could give other nonprofits out there who are looking to sort of raise the bar in their income?
You know, I think Max is right, actually. The world is changing, and it's changing, I think, in two distinct buckets. Millennials, younger donors, want to be involved in their donation. They don't want to just give you $1.
Yeah.
They want to help raise it. They want to match it with some of their dollars, and they want to volunteer their time. They want to contribute both physically and with money. For more seasoned donors, if you will, those folks want to see outcomes.
Right.
They want to know what their dollar is going to generate that's going to change something, rather than just feeding the homeless. What is it going to do so that next year there are fewer homeless people, right? That kind of social change is what they want to drive with their dollars.
Well, so how to measure outcomes when it comes to a disease that has yet to come up with a cure?
You have to balance what dollars go to research while you're taking care of people today.
Gotcha.
And the care you give people today, you have to look at and say, how is it leveraged? So, for example, if I can teach somebody how to care for somebody in their home longer, their quality of life goes up. It's a much more leveraged thing than just taking care of them, for example, for one day.
Yeah.
Right?
Wing, I got to believe your culture at your company is pretty young, yes?
Yes.
And do you find, what Jim is saying here, that the younger generation wants to get more involved in these types of nonprofit organizations?
Yeah, pretty much as we call it. You got to have skin in the game, right? So the more engaged you are, the more you're going to do. So, I mean, you're seeing, every generation now, it doesn't matter what age they're in, they want to be involved. They want to have something. And part of it also is, there is, quote unquote, part of a requirement in the school system to do some kind of philanthropic work for your school application.
Yeah.
So there's that little bit, but then there are the kids that get that, and then they take it to another level.
Right.
They just don't want to give 5 hours a week. They want to say, well, what can I do with my 5 hours and really make a difference, and then rally other students and really take some kind of leadership role in the process.
Beautiful.
So, Wing, you do so much in the community, and thank you for the organizations that I'm part of that you support. How do you decide as a company? And is it just by feel? Is it relationships? Is it the cause?
As a company, we like to think that, obviously anything to do with wellness, because eating is a big part of, I think some people say 80% of what you are is based on what you eat, not so much exercise. The other part is obviously with kids. That's why we do a lot with PCRF. But the biggest bucket comes with guys like this guy, because, we can spend our time with a lot of people. At the end of the day, it is our time. So if the other, organization doesn't see it, doesn't basically thank us and look at us as more of a partner as opposed to just money walking in the door, right? Because we do have the money, but, appreciate us for, donating our weekends, our nights, and whatever we can do, our PSAs.
So, Jim, to that point, what's the relationship been for you, and what are some of the highlights of working with Wing and Wahoo's?
I was thinking about it actually on my way in this morning. I think we've known each other now for almost 6 years.
Yep.
And it's really interesting because in our world, you don't really have donors. You have people who become personal relationships, become friends, right? So what Wing does brilliantly is offer advice, frankly. He's built a brand that's just flippin' awesome. And he's really helped us build our brand. So our Go Purple campaign is partly built off of advice Wing gave us. He was sitting out waiting on this interview, telling me how to build a relationship with a local sports team. I mean, that kind of stuff is invaluable to us. That's not my background. I'm a fundraiser and a nonprofit guy. I'm not a market guru. Well, he is.
Yeah.
So I'm shamelessly picking his brain.
So we got 2 minutes. I want to do what I call a lightning round. So just give me your quick one-liners here if you can, or maybe 2 sentences. Wing, what advice can you give other businesses who might want to leverage their own sort of knowledge and resources to give back to the community?
Well, obviously the first and foremost, we say find something that, kind of is passion, that drives you. But more important, find key strategic partners that can benefit from the relationship that you're having, because it's an easy ask for money, but what are they going to give in return for the money?
Beautiful. Yeah. Jim, how do you go about measuring success? One-liner or 2?
Increase quality of life, and I listen a lot to what people tell me.
Great. Any events in the near future we should know about?
Absolutely. We've got a gala coming up in March, and we have a Reason to Hope breakfast in January. All you have to do is go to alz.org to hear all about it.
I was just going to ask about the website, and how would you suggest people get more involved in your organization?
Well, that website's a great spot. It's got all kinds of volunteer opportunities, or you can call 949-955-9000, 949-955-9000. That's my radio voice, and we'll tell you everything we can about how to get involved, both with dollars, time, and also if you need help. Most importantly, if you're battling this, call us.
Jim McAleer, also Wing Lamb in the studio, the Alzheimer's Association, Orange County. Thank you both for spending time this morning coming in and sharing with us your knowledge. Appreciate it, really do.
Thanks for having me.